Hello guys, it's Sebastian and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, as you guys can see from the title, I'll be talking about online classes that would basically encompass how I've been doing, how I've been managing my time kind of wisely, and how I've been staying organized. So if you guys would want to see some tips and tricks, then please keep on watching. Hello guys, so I don't actually have a lot. In fact, I only have a few things. I actually have a paper and I wrote everything here, but of course I would try to go in depth with the explanation for each, that way it could really help you guys out there. Yeah, I just hope this video would be of help to a lot of people out there. So yes, let's start with the first one. So the first one that I have here is to have a timetable. Now this timetable, you could actually use any. You could use just a scrap paper, but in my case I actually use two. One is the scrap paper, which I kind of write everything there for a day, and the second one, I actually have this planner. It is actually a planner, but I kind of use it as a timetable as well. So this is the 366 days kind of diary, journal, and planner all in one. I got it from National Bookstore. And so this is what the month of September looks like for me. I know today is September, but the video would be up by probably October. So yeah, here is what the month of September looks like to me. For some this might not look busy, but for me this is a busy month. And yeah, I feel like just having a timetable helped me a lot, most especially in knowing what to prioritize more, because there are days when the requirements would just kind of overwhelm you in a way. So to be able to write all of the requirements in a single paper and also write down the deadlines beside it, that way you could filter out what you really need to do first and what needs to be passed earlier. That is one thing that has helped me so much in this setup, which is the online classes. And the next thing that I have for you is actually still part of the timetable, but in the timetable I also place their time frame as to what my ideal time could possibly be for a specific task that I'd be doing. For example, I have an activity for our ANAPHY class, which is the anatomy and physiology. I just want to do this specific task for around 1 to 3 p.m. only. That way, for the remaining time for that day, I could either do more works or even rest. So yeah, it's kind of a win-win situation actually to kind of have a timetable, because not only would it kind of make your life more organized in general, but it would also help you improve, I feel like, your planning skills and all that. But yeah, given that you have a time frame, here's a very important reminder that you need not to kind of always comply with the time frame. If ever you need some extensions or adjustments, feel free to kind of just adjust the time frame for that specific subject. You do not need to pressure yourself too much, and you should just learn and grow at your own pace. You need not to pressure yourself every now and then to just finish this specific task for 30 minutes, for an hour, and so. But yeah, just take off a little pressure from yourself, because I feel like at the end of the day, we are also the ones who put a lot of pressure to ourselves. That's why we should try to lessen it, most especially that we're under a stressful time already. So to kind of pressure yourself more with academics is not the best thing we can do. But of course, sometimes you cannot just help it, but to also overwork, because honestly, I still have a problem with that. That's why I'm kind of happy I discovered timetable, because then I was able to distribute my works evenly. But there are still days where I tend to finish everything that I could in a day. I would push myself to the core, which sometimes is not good, because you don't want to get burnt out in doing something that is really important to you, or something that would play a vital role in the direction of your life later on, which leads to my next step, which is to take small breaks. So why do we need to take small breaks? Taking small breaks is kind of essential to... It's not focusing. Yep, I'm back. And taking small breaks for me is essential, most especially if you have a heavy workload. So having to take small breaks is, in a way, for me, a way for you to also not be too hard on yourself. Because sometimes, like what I said a while ago, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves and all that. So we need to sometimes, or most of the time actually, stray away from that. And we could do that by taking small breaks. And by taking small breaks, I also mean phone break. Like you just breathe and sit in silence. And that has helped me so much, most especially in this setup, which is the online classes once again. Because we're literally just staring at the screens for a whole day, which is not healthy to your eyes. That's why I feel like taking small breaks, even after just a task or two, is super duper important, because you also need to take care of yourself. You do not only need to take care of your academics and all that, but also to your health, not only physically but also mentally and all the wonders. I kind of limit my breaks, which I don't think is good. I don't know, but anyway, I just limit my break time. That way I could and I would be able to stray away and avoid as much as I can procrastination, because I feel like procrastination is the root of cramming later on. I don't know if what I'm about to say makes sense at all, but for me, I cram everything, not last minute, but the moment an activity is given. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if cramming is the right term for that, but whenever the activities, you know, like come to me like a flurry of work, I tend to, as much as I can, finish them all in a day, which isn't good, because then again, that's overworking. That's not good. That's really not good. But yeah, going back to my point, I keep on going to overworking, but yeah, going back to my point, which is the avoid procrastination. I feel like I've done this for a couple of years already, but this year I feel like is the year where I've done it the most especially that I have also quite a few things that I balance, one of which is the org. I recently joined an org and I'm on the content and creatives unit, and actually we do have an Instagram. It is at Climate It LU. It is a youth-led initiative that cares for the health of the environment, and so if you guys would want to be more connected, then feel free to follow us on Instagram, because we're still open for applications. I don't know if the applications would already be closed by the time this video would be up, but I'm sure the page would not be gone when this video is out, so please follow our org now. So secondly, besides org that I balance with my academics, I also balance YouTube with academics, and that's why I feel like I've kind of overworked sometimes with academics, is to have a time frame as well to shoot a video or to edit a video or a thumbnail or a description and all that. So it's kind of really, it gets overwhelming sometimes, but then again, we just need to manage the time wisely, know when to stop, take small breaks, and also enjoy the time. And the next thing that I also balance with my academics is the SSG, which is the Supreme Student Government, or in other schools it is termed as the student body, because recently, again for this year, I ran for a position in our school and there were no other parties. So yeah, I'm now the newly elected president of our school, and I'm super duper happy about that. But of course, I feel like the experience would obviously be better if we were to have face-to-face classes. If this COVID thing didn't happen at all, we could just have more interactive platforms that cares not only for the entertainment of the students, but also regarding their health, how they're doing in general. But I feel like we need it more now though, those counseling and all that, because we can't teach other that much. So to be able to kind of assess where every student could be helped is really vital, was especially at this point in time. So I feel like avoiding procrastination would actually help us a lot in achieving outputs that would satisfy us, not only immediately but also in the long run. You would not regret doing it right away, because boom, you have more time to rest, you have more time to do this, that, and everything that's been keeping us from being free. And yeah, so that would basically be it for my second tip. And for my third tip, it would have to be know when to stop. This is also kind of associated with taking small breaks, but sometimes we just not know when to stop or when we've already done too much. Because sometimes whenever we have a lot of requirements and all that, we tend to see doing 2 activities or 3 activities only as a small amount, most especially if you're given tons of activities. For example, we have 10 activities for a week and you've only just finished 3 activities in a day. That would kind of make you sad. But if you actually look at it, having to do 3 assignments a day could actually help you do all the 10 activities in even 3 days. So again, going back to the timetable, that also helps a lot in determining when to stop. Because then again, if we would not be doing that, we'd just be overworking ourselves. I might just sound here like I'm just talking about overworking and all that. Actually, I'm just not talking about that. I'm also talking about other factors that could lead to overworking, but I just keep on going back to overworking to stress, but I actually want to be stressed in here. I'm so sorry, it's been a long time since the last time I talked straight to a camera, or to you guys. So, that being the reason why I'm so talkative today. Nice. Going back to my point, which is knowing when to stop, that also helps you spend more time with your family later on that day, or with your friends or even with yourself, because sometimes these schoolworks could get all of our time, which is really not good. But then again, we just have to manage our time wisely, and hopefully all else would fall in the right place. So my fourth tip, this is actually the second to the last. I only have 5 tips, but my fourth tip would have to be do tasks one at a time. Why? Because if you're doing a task but you're mentally somewhere else, wherein for example you're doing an ANAFE activity but your mind is more focused on doing this CVE activity, then I feel like it would take more time to actually finish the ANAFE, because then your mind is not completely into that zone, which you need to immerse yourself in that specific field, because then you'd be able to direct all of your energy, focus, attention, and productivity into that one task, and that would just help you finish a specific task faster as compared to what it would be if your focus is divided and all over the place. So my last tip, which also applies for how I stay organized, is to always clean your room. I don't know if this affects how you work or how productive you get in a day, but for me, having to clean my room every now and then helps me a lot. I'm not joking when I say a lot, because having a clean room helps me, again, a lot and being more productive, because if I already have tons of requirements and all that, and when I look around me, everything is cluttery and all that, I tend to just get more stressed, which isn't good. So having to clean my room every now and then just help me be more productive, because for me, an organized and a clean room equates to an organized mind, thus creating more high quality work as to what it would be if everything around you or your surroundings is not pleasant to look at in the first place. But then again, that's just for me. I might just be a picky guy. But yeah, I just want everything to be clean, even though maybe the next 30 minutes after cleaning, the room would just get all cluttered again. But then again, having an organized room helps me have that mindset that my work also needs to be organized, as what's around me is organized. So those would just be the things that I'd be sharing for the meantime. Again, sorry if I'm so talkative in this video. I haven't talked in a while, and yeah, that would basically be it for this video. I hope I was able to help you guys in one way or another. And if you enjoyed this video, of course, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and also comment down other video suggestions you'd like to see me do next. And that would be it for the meantime. This has been Sebastian, and I hope that we could spread love a little more often, and I'll see you till the next video. Bye bye. Take care of yourself.